Whew. Good morning. All right, we'll get started in just a moment. I just need to run and do one more thing. Sorry, a little late. YouTube was being a little weird. We'll get started in just a moment. Thank you. Okay, good morning. We are live. I think my AirPods should be connected, so that's good. Nice. And we're just gonna, let's dive in. Let me just say good morning in chat as well as, all right, so there we go. All right. YouTube is being a little weird this morning. Good morning, Sharon. Oh, thank you for joining in again. When I tried to go live, it told me live streaming is not available right now. So every day just kind of encountering and learning about another potential snag in all of this. Okay, so just make sure my phone is on Do Not Disturb so it's not distracting me either. Okay, but I do want to see the time. All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for your patience. There, I'm just gonna have my time so I can see. Okay, we're gonna start in a comfortable seated position this morning. If you'd rather not do that on the floor, if you have a chair you can use, feel free to do that instead. You want to just be nice and comfortable here. Let your eyes close. And let's just take some deep but easy breaths. So don't force it to be like your fullest breath if that's not very comfortable. Okay, see that. I'm going to check. Is the edge of my, edge of my mat's in there. Good. All right, so just nice, easy breaths in and out. All right, and then let's open the eyes. All right. With an inhale, shrug the shoulders up to your ears, squeeze them up, and hold the breath in. And release. So big exhale out the mouth as you're letting those shoulders drop down. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. Squeeze the shoulders up. Release. One more time. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Expand and squeeze, expand and squeeze. And release. Good. All right, then we're going to move those shoulders in circles. We had a request for neck stretches this morning. And I like to get those shoulders warmed up too. Because a lot of connection from shoulders to neck contributes to neck tightness. All right, so we're going to bring those shoulders forwards, up to the ears, back and down, forwards, up, back and down. One more time, forwards, up, back and down. Other direction, pull it back, up, forwards and down, back, up, forwards and down. One more time, back, up, forwards and down. Good. All right, so let's turn our head side to side, just swiveling right and left, right and left and right. Really see what's over there to your right and to the left. One more time, right and left. Back to center and going up and down. Stretch the chin up and then drop it down to the chest. And chin pulls up and down. And one more time, up and down. And head back to center. And then tilting right and left. Good. So keep gently lifted, nice and tall through the spine. And tilt right ear to right shoulder. And then over to the left. And tilt right. And tilt left. And one more time, right. And left. And bring that back up to center. Let's move that in circles. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin drops to the chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And look up. Let's go 2 more times in this direction. As big a circle as you can make without having to force anything. And take that circle the other direction. Chin up. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest. And tilt right. Bring the head back to center. Turn your head to the right. So we swivel right, level, chin is level to start. And now keeping our head turned to the right, you're going to look down towards your right hip, down to the right shoulder. Good, and look up. Good. And looking down. And looking up. One more time down. And up. Bring the head back to center. And then swivel your head to the left. Then we're going to do up and down with our head turned to the left. Again, as big a range as you can, but let it be comfortable and not forced. Good. And with your head looking left, you're going to look down and look up. Look down and look up. One more time, down and up and look back to center. Tilt the right ear to the right shoulder. This time, option to add the right hand gently on top. Doesn't have to be a very active pull. So notice how much stretch you can still breathe through. We want to still involve the breath. Your left arm might reach down and a little bit away. That'll add to the stretch if that's feeling right for you. And with the head still pointing to the right, turn your chin down, nose down towards the floor. If you're using the hand, it's going to kind of scooch more to the back of the head now. And you might keep that reach through the left arm if that feels good. You might let the arm drop to your side. Bring the head back to center. The arms come down. Tilt left ear to left shoulder. Good. Add a gentle weight. It's not necessarily a pull, just gentle weight with the left arm if you want. Option also to add the right arm, reaching down and a little bit away. You can play with the angle of this arm a little bit. There's no one exact place it needs to be. So slightly different angles are just going to feel different in your neck. With the head tilted, point your nose down to the floor. If you're using that left arm, it's going to be more in the back of the head now. And send breath into where you're feeling that stretch. Release and let your head float back up to center. Clasp your hands, interlacing the fingers, place them on your head. Good, and lengthen the head up into the hands. Feeling a lift in the chest, a lift in the back of the skull to get taller. Great, and let the hands come down. Let's come into a tabletop on our hands and knees. So feel free to add in that towel or blanket padding. That's helpful on your knees. Good. So if you were sitting in your chair and you don't want to be down on the floor, you might put your hands on your chair instead, and you're standing on your feet. And move through some cat and cow. Breathe in to arch and look up. Exhale to round and push the floor away. Let's alternate between those two shapes at your own deliberate pace. While you do that for a few more breaths, to just get the rest of my props closer by. Good. Next time you come into cow, so that's the one with your belly down and your head and your tailbone up. Let's breathe here for a few breaths. Good. And with an exhale, round to cat. We're going to stay in cat for a few breaths. So you're still letting your breath move in and out of your shape. This time, this shape is staying a little still. Right, coming back to a long, neutral spine. Sit back on the heels in child's pose. You can widen those knees if you want, or keep them as they were. All right, then come back up to all fours on your hands and knees. Okay. So I'm going to reach your right arm forwards and left leg back. Good. Your belly is firm. The hips are level. All 5 toes of that left foot are pointing down to the floor. Now I want you to bend your left knee. Keep that thigh lifted. It's going to want to drop down. Really keep it lifted. Reach the right hand back. Just try and tap that foot. Don't actually try and grab it. It's just a tap. And then they extend front and back again. Do that 2 more times. Bend, reach back, and extend. And 1 more time, bend. Even if you don't, find the foot, go for the reach anyway. Then you're long, and come back down to all fours. Good. And reach your left arm forwards, right leg back. And if you're doing this, if you've had your hands on a chair instead, you could also mimic this same shape without being on the floor, hands on a chair. I'm going to do a full chair video soon. All right, so bend that back leg, reach back, try and tap, and extend it out. 2 more times, reach back, tap, and extend. Good, reach back and tap, and extend. Good, come back to all fours. Tuck the toes under, lift up to downward dog. Good. Arms drilling down and forwards, armpits open. Step the feet as wide as your mat. Take a little bend in the knees to lift those hips up and back more. Then keep that lift, take the legs a little straighter. Then step the feet back to hip distance apart. Good. And walk or hop your feet forwards. Coming to a forward fold at the front of your mat. With an inhale, lengthen the spine forwards, half lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Palms meet overhead. Exhale. Hands come down to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You can bring the hands down to the floor. Totally fine to bend the knees. If you do have yoga blocks, you might bring your hands down to your blocks. Okay. So arms are just coming down to the floor for a little support as you step your left foot back to a runner's lunge. That back leg is straight. Good. Then reach the arms up for the sky. Front leg bent, back leg straight. Good. And back leg really squeezing straight. Good. As straight as you can. Good. Now we're going to open that up to warrior 2. So you're going to lower your back heel down. Good. And let that turn you sideways. Your right foot is still pointing straight to the front of your mat. There's a strong, deep bend in that right leg. Left leg is straight and that foot is flat. Arms are powerful but soft. Good. And from here, a couple different directions. Ultimately, we are coming back to standing at the front of your mat. So you could either just step that left foot forwards, or you can move that through a downward dog. So to do that, you take the hands down, either flat to the mat or down to your blocks. If you're putting your hands on your blocks, make sure the blocks are on your mat so they don't slide. And then right foot goes back to downward dog. So I could do this on my blocks. This gives me a little more space to move the legs around. Then walk or hop your feet forwards. All right, once you're in a forward fold at the front of your mat, inhale, lengthen the spine forwards, half lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Palms together, exhale, then lower to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to floor or blocks. Step the right foot back. Good. Arms reach up for the sky. Back leg is squeezing straight. Good. Left knee bending forwards. High lunge. Good. Then lower that back heel down. Body turns sideways, but that left knee still going straight forward, still right over the second and third toe of the foot. If you don't have a mirror, feel free to actually look down and check that knee. All right, and then back to standing at the front of your mat. I'm going to do the version going through downward dog. So hands come down. But if you want to just step that right foot forwards, that is totally fine. So I'm in downward dog. Then walking or hopping the feet forwards, whatever gets me to that forward fold at the front of the mat. Good. And let's inhale, come up halfway. It might be higher than halfway to really let your spine get long. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale. Hands to your heart. Good. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to floor or blocks. Maybe you've got a chair nearby you can use for this transition. Your left foot is stepping back again. This time, that back knee is coming down onto your mat. Tucked or untucked toes in the back foot, that is up to you. Make sure your right heel is still under your right knee as you are pushing those hips forwards and reaching the arms up to the sky. So if you're kind of ended up here, then you're going to want to shimmy that front foot forwards again until it's right under the knee. And your butt cheeks are squeezing together as if they're trying to bring your sits bones together. So it's both encouraging and supporting the stretch in that left hip flexor. Yeah. Then bring your right hand down to your right knee and side bend to your right. So you're arcing over your front leg. Left arm is arcing over you, and that left glute, that left butt cheek is staying firm. By which I mean it's squeezing. Inhale, come up out of that side bend. Take the arms up. Bring the hands down to the floor or your blocks to step the left foot forwards. And take the right leg back. Good. And lower that back knee down. Feel free to use padding whenever we've got our knees down. Arms reach up to the sky. The hips lean forwards. That right thigh reaches back. Your right butt cheek is squeezing. Yeah, and think of them both squeezing, but it's the right that's going to be easier to feel the squeeze. And bring left hand to the left knee and side bend to your left. You are bending towards that front leg. Good. You're still squeezing that right glute. Inhale, lift up out of the side bend. Lower the hands down to the floor or your blocks and step that right foot forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine forwards, half lift. Exhale, fold, back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to floor or blocks. Step the left foot back. Lower the knee down. You're going to come up to a half kneel. Right? So that means that your hips are stacked right, your left hip right over the left knee. Right heel is just right under the right knee. Good. So glutes still squeezing. They're still gonna help a lot in stabilizing this shape here. Bring the palms together at your heart. With an exhale, swivel to your right. Inhale, come back to center. And do that 2 more times. Twist and untwist. Swivel and swivel back. This time, we're gonna bring that elbow down to the right knee. So twist, lean forward, try and bring left elbow to the right knee. Good, all right. And then press the right hand down into the left. Try and bring that chest up more above that right thigh as it is twisting upwards. And you can keep that back knee down or try tucking those toes and straightening the back leg. If you do that, really squeeze that left arm down into the right thigh. And untwist, hands down to floor or blocks. Step the left foot forwards and take the right leg back. And lower that right knee down. Good, come up to your 90-90 half kneel. Palms together at your heart. Tailbone pointing down towards the floor. With an exhale, swivel to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, swivel left. Inhale, center. And twist left. And center. And twist left. Lean forwards. Right elbow to the left knee. So now chest is probably kind of dropping towards the thigh. Now you're going to press the top hand down into the bottom hand. Try and bring that chest up more away from the thigh. So it's both lifting up and it's rotating up. And like the first side, that back knee can stay down, or you can tuck the toes. If you're trying to straighten this back leg, really wedge this arm down into the thigh as you're going into that transition. It'll really help. And really lengthen back through that right heel. Even though it's not touching the floor, it can be a useful anchor. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And release the hands, undo the twist. Hands down to the floor or blocks. Step the right foot forwards. From that forward fold, inhale, lengthen the spine forwards. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Great. All right. So it's going to be a little bit before we have our knees down on the mat. So if you'd rather that blanket was out of your way, if you've been using it. Good. And this next section is with or without blocks. If you have one, you like to use it, feel free. Good. But your legs work pretty great as well. All right, so you're going to face one long edge of the mat. Step the feet nice and wide. Good. Turn the right toes out all the way. Left toes in a little bit. Arms stretching out at shoulder height. Bend your right knee, warrior 2. Then from this warrior 2, turn the right palm up, side bend to your left. Legs are going to keep their warrior 2 shape. Good. And come back to warrior 2. Good. Now you're going to turn to face the right leg. into a high lunge. So I'm going to lift my back heel. I'm going to turn to face the right leg. Nice. Into that lunge. So from here, I need to step back or I'm going to run into my shoes. From here, you can either lean your spine forwards, arms back like jet plane wings. So you might stay here. This is kind of on the way to warrior three. Or you might just fully, boom, stand in that warrior three. And then from that warrior three or your lunge, stand up tall and bring that left foot into your tree pose. So you don't, I'm going to turn sideways so you, not sideways, I'm going to turn to face you. I'm going to be your mirror here. Ooh, lots of turning. Okay, palms together at your heart or whatever shape you desire. Yeah, then reach the arms and that left knee up and step that back to the lunge. And from that lunge, warrior one. So you just lower your back foot down until it's flat. And then we want the toes a little forward of the heel. So notice how my foot is slightly angled forwards, not completely forwards. Good. Let's turn down about 45 degrees. It might be more or less depending on your body. Now clasp the hands, fingers interlace into a Kali Mudra. So my index fingers are still pointing up. Good, but everything else is interlaced. Good, and then I'm gonna really bend my front knee and lean forwards, but keeping the arms by my ears. Then straighten the front leg and take a little back bend and lift. And bend the front leg, hinge forwards, straighten and lift. One more time, bend, leaning forwards, straighten and lift. Now unclasp the hands, bend your right knee, warrior two. And we're going to take that over to the other side. Right toes turn in a little bit, left toes turn out all the way. I know I'm going to need a little space to step forwards. First warrior two, left knee bends. Soft focus gaze over that left middle finger. And flip the left palm, reverse your warrior, taking a side bend to your right. And come back to warrior two. Now pivot into your high lunge facing your left leg. That back heel lifts. Good. Arms back like jet plane wings. Either a hinging lunge or stand all the way on your left leg in warrior three. Good. Then bring that into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Good. So I'm just going to stay facing sideways to you guys this time. So foot is at any height on that standing leg. Inner thigh of that lifted leg, your right leg's broadening out to the side. And what you do with the arms, that's up to you. I'll be bossy about it other days. And reach the arms and that right knee up. Step that back to lunge, and then spin that back heel down to warrior one. Good. If you need to scoot that back foot closer, further forwards to get it all the way flat, not a problem. Interlace those fingers in a Kali Mudra. I'm kind of far away, but my index fingers are pointing out of my hands. Good. Bend your front leg even more and hinge forwards, but try and keep the arms up by your face as opposed to dropping down. Try and keep them lifted as best you can. Straighten the front leg and lift. Maybe a little arch. And bend and hinge. Straighten and lift. One more time. Bend. Upper body hinges forwards. Straighten the front leg. Heart lifts. Open that back up to warrior two. Left knee bends. And straighten the left leg. Now feet are parallel to each other, hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forwards. First, keeping that back long and flat. Good. And then let that fold down. The hands might stay on your hips or come down to the floor or your block. Right. Inhale, come up to a long, flat back. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, stand up all the way. Bring the feet back under you. Okay. So you're going to stand on your right leg. I'm going to have my lifted leg towards you. Right. So stand on the right leg. So this is one where if you've got a wall, chair, something handy to help you with balance, feel free to use it. Good. All right. So you're going to, let me show this without the strap first. You're going to stand on the right leg. Grab the left foot. Okay. So if that's tough to do with your hand, few options. You might use a towel, a strap, something to loop around that foot. If you don't have something like that handy, a wall or chair could hold the foot for you. So I stand nice and close to the wall, maybe not so close, it'll depend on you. Okay, and I just lift my foot up. Okay, so just imagine if you could see me from the side, my foot here is being held up by the wall. So that can also be a great way to hold on to that foot. Good. So first, just think of dropping that right knee down. As we're just trying to get as nice straight a line as we can here from that right hip to the right knee. This might be where you stay. Good. Maybe that right arm, same hand as standing leg, comes up. Good. Great place to be. If you're already feeling a lot of stretch here, I know I am. I've been sitting a lot. This whole shelter in place thing. It's hard to, be moving as much as we would otherwise. So your shape might stay here. Or you might press that foot back. And as the thigh lifts, the right arm kind of starts to lower down in front of you to counterbalance. Right. So obviously if you're against a wall, leg's not going to go through the wall, so you're just going to stay there. You could also do that same thing with a chair, what I was showing with the wall. And that'll be part of my chair video that's in the works. One more breath here. Let yourself get bigger. And come on down. Well, thank you, Shake, for that standing leg. Let's do the other side. And so if you might want your wall, if you have that available, like standing side towards the wall, be a good way to go. All right, so however you are holding that right foot, or if a chair or wall is holding that for you, and set up. Maybe the left arm comes up. Good. To start, we're just thinking knee down, tailbone down. Good. So your yogi journey might stay here, or you might start to kick that foot back. Good. So you're making as big a shape behind you as you can. Good. Really pulling that foot away from you. Your right outer hip is rolling down. This is my harder to balance side for sure. Maybe if I would just look in front of me instead of checking myself in the video. I already know I'm in the frame. I'm good. I don't need to keep looking. There we go. Now I can balance. And let's get a little bigger. And let that come down. Nice. Maybe a little thank you shake for both legs. Even they both just worked very hard. All right. Let's come down to sitting on the mat, or if you prefer, sitting on a chair. Okay. And let's see, can I come? Still kind of dark. I'll stay back here. Still figuring out the lighting in my space here. All right, we're setting up for a seated twist. Have your left leg extended forwards. Squeeze that right foot all the way in. Circle the right arm forwards, up, back, and down to the floor behind you. Good. Wrap that left arm around the right knee. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale. Twist to your right. And unwind. Right. And switch out the legs. The right extends forwards and the left comes in. Two sits bones firmly down on the mat. Right arm across. Circle the left arm forwards. Up and down to the floor behind you to be your kickstand. So that left arm is helping the shoulders stay stacked over the hips. Inhale, lengthen up. Both arms can help you do this. Exhale, twist to your right, or sorry, to your left. And unwind your twist. Good. Bring the soles of the feet together into butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Good. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, start to hinge forwards, chest pulling up and forwards and sits bones pulling down and back. Inhale to come up. And extend your right leg out to the side. Good. Whatever's a, open but comfortable side angle for you. You might use your strap here around the right foot. Good. So whether you're using the strap or not, you're going to inhale, lengthen up, rotate to face the right leg, and with an exhale, fold over. Inhale to lift up out of that fold. And switch sides. The right folds in, left comes out to the side. Good. Set your strap if you're using it. Good. Inhale first, lengthen. Rotate to the left leg. Exhale. Fold over. Inhale to lift up. Out of that fold. Good. Okay, so next you're going to lie down on your back. Right, so start with your knees bent, your feet flat. Hook the right ankle on the left thigh, and then pull the legs in towards you. Wrapping your hands either around the back of that left thigh or over the left shin. You can keep your shape here or extend that left leg as much as you can. I'm trying to let your bum pop off the floor if you do that. So if that means less straightness in that left leg, totally fine. Try and keep that tailbone down on the mat. no matter how much that leg straightens. And if you're like, nah, I'd rather just focus on the right glute stretch, not a problem. Totally valid choice. All right, and then let go with your hands. Untangle the legs, bring the knees side by side, and your hips are going to take a little scoot to your right of center, and knees drop over to the left. And your hip crease here is in roughly a 90-degree angle. So you should feel kind of still getting some outer hip stretch here in a different way. As the knees go to the left, the head and chest turn to your right. And let's unwind out of that twist. Recenter your hips with the shoulders. Figure 4 on your left side. Left ankle hooks on the right thigh. Good. Pull it in. Option to extend the right leg or keep your shape as is. But no matter how much that right leg extends, don't let that round the lower back. So keep pressing that back of the pelvis into the floor. Right, let go with the hands. Let the knees come together. Hips take a little scoot to your left. Knees drop over to the right. Head and chest turn to your left. Good. So you're feeling some different stretch in that left outer hip. Unwind out of the twist. Recenter the hips with shoulders. Let's come into happy baby. Pull the knees apart. Good. Point those heels right up to the ceiling. So kind of like we're doing a squat on the ceiling. So hands can pull down on the thighs. or outer ankles, outer feet, if that is easily within reach. You might take a little sway side to side. Bring the knees together and into your chest. Bear hug them in close. Lift your head. Try and touch your forehead to your knees. Or get as close as you can. And let that go and stretch out into your Shavasana. And feel free to add props or layers. I'm a little chilly in my house right now. I'm going to add a blanket to my Shavasana. Let's get this out. Nice and cozy. So if you have a towel blanket or little eye pillow you can put over your eyes just to quiet that sense of sight for a few minutes here as we rest and let our practice sink in. Feel the movement of your breath. Stretch your arms up overhead. Bend your knees and roll over onto one side. And use both hands to gently walk yourself up to sitting. Any comfortable seated position you like. Bring the palms together at your heart. And let's close by chanting one Om all together. First, exhale fully. Then a deep inhale. Thank you all so very much for joining in. Whether it's this morning as we're live or later, these videos are staying up later. So if you know that someone wanted to be here but couldn't, didn't, was sleeping, whatever, we need to sleep and be kind to ourselves right now. These will stay up on my channel for a little while. So yeah, plenty of opportunity to do some more. Thank you guys so very much. Donation info, if you are able, is in the description. Helps me make up for lost income during this time while my work is closed. But liking videos, subscribing, spreading the word to anyone that you think would be interested, all of that also super supportive ways to help. This online yoga thing, this might be what we have for a little while or a long while. Things are just so up in the air. You just got to take it one day at a time. If you have any notes for me, requests, or if it was ever hard to see, to hear at some point, or something was distracting, please let me know. Still kind of figuring out this setup here. So anyway, namaste. Super, super grateful for all of you joining. Thank you for giving me a reason to do this. I really miss it. Yeah, it's just physically, mentally so helpful for me to have a reason to do this. And so thank you so much for tuning in and helping me stay in touch with that. Thank you. Namaste to you too, Sharon. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah, these will be coming up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. California Pacific time. I'm also doing a more vigorous flow Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. But again, all those, they stay up on the channel. So anytime yoga. Alrighty. Bye, and thank you all so very much. Please be in touch. My email's in the description. Take care.